What if we're doing it all backwards and wrong? People start identifying that they have ADHD and they want to fix it. Or people start identifying that they have underdeveloped executive function skills and they want to fix it. And everything is oriented towards fixing something that's deemed to be broken. But what if it's not broken? What if what we're identifying is the cause, the underlying cause? And let's say it's underdeveloped executive function skills. The effect is everything that we're seeing in life, all the challenges, all the chaos. Now, we could take the approach that most people take, which is, let's fix it. Let's go get ADHD coaching and let's figure out how to fix the problems. But what if we take a completely novel approach and not go after fixing anything? Not start thinking we're broken. Let's not assign a massively negative meaning of being defective or less than or broken to all these things that we don't have. But let's reframe the situation and give it an empowering meaning. What if the meaning we choose is that we get born with this configured brain and we will need certain challenges in order to develop into the person we are intended to be? We will need to develop compassion, perspective, patience, persistence, self-love, self-integrity. We will need to learn to slow down before we can speed up so that we can develop everything we need for a successful journey through life. We have gifts and came to this life to be someone who lives a great life. And a great life can mean so many different things to different people. It can mean you're raising a family. That's an amazing opportunity. Perhaps you are starting a movement or a business or running a business or inventing something or working at a job, something you do really well. There are so many different reasons that we come to this lifetime with the gifts that we do. And we all need lessons. We all need lessons. And what if the lessons aren't just the challenges of an ADHD configured brain or an underdeveloped executive function brain? But what if the challenges are that the reason that we come this way is because we need to learn certain things about giving our word and keeping our word, about being willing to go the distance, to persevere, to be on fire about something? What about coming to understand what it means to be a gifted adult? And I'm not talking about IQ. So many different reasons that we may need to learn certain lessons so that we can be excited about what it is that we're going to be doing in our lifetime and be doing with our life. Instead of forcing yourself to be excited about fixing problems, is fixing problems sustainable excitement for you?
Welcome to the Living Beyond ADHD podcast. If you're looking for a fresh perspective and actionable steps on hot topics from focus to follow-through to self-management and more, you are in the right place. Welcome your host, innovative educator, coach, and psychotherapist, Dr. B.
What about an alternative reality that I've discovered, which is that many of us have grown up with an outdated identity of who we think we are. And it isn't true. We've also grown up with many limiting beliefs that we get from society and all the other places, our families of origin, where we're indoctrinated with all this limiting stuff. And what if it's those outdated identities and limiting beliefs that are keeping us from our successful life? And we don't need to fix those either. Instead, we need to decide on what beliefs we want to have, need to have, desire to have, that are linked to the success that we want. What do we need to believe? We probably need or want to believe that we can change. We want to believe that we are unstoppable. We want to believe so many positive, empowering things. That's what we want, because that is truly how we go from being the gifted underachiever to the empowered achiever. We go straight there in our mind. Who are we as the empowered achiever? What do we believe? What do we think? Who are we being? And what are we doing within the empowered achiever identity? Those are the things that are important for us to decide on. We need to go after what we want instead of constantly returning to what we don't want and think we need to fix. Will what we fix, if we can fix it, ever be as great as what we can create for ourselves? Life's about becoming and being and living life full out. That's what it's about. And yes, the program I created was never intended to fix anybody. And yes, I'm trained as a licensed psychotherapist in the state of California for over 30 years now. And yes, I got training as an ADHD coach around the same time or a little bit later. But when I was reflecting on this morning, when I was thinking about a new episode, and I was thinking, what if people think I do ADHD coaching in my program? It's not what I do, because it's not a coaching program. And what if people think I do therapy? It's not what I do, because it's not a therapy program. What I do in many ways that I do so is to help you become the person that you want to become, need to become, aspire to become, and step into that identity. Because as the empowered achiever, you do have all the executive function skills that you need, and you have all the pre-skills that you need. You've done away with many of your limiting beliefs, and you know how to release them. You have chosen a new and updated identity that says this is you, that you've always wanted to be. And the goal of the program is to learn to be that, to have lessons, challenges, life work, different things presented to you, that their purpose is to help facilitate you becoming that person. Then what? You live as the empowered achiever, being the person and doing the things you envisioned for yourself. Is there a newfound excitement, a newfound internal motivation? And if you have a limiting belief that says that's pie in the sky and you can't possibly be or become that person, think again. Put on my lens. Think again. Because the person I am today is not the person I was born as. I don't even go by the same name. The name I was given when I was born is not the name I go by today. Today, my name is Dr. B. It's affectionate, respectful, indicates my education, and it's loving and kind. It's all the things that I stand for. Dr. B. That's my name. And what else? Who I was born as, who I was in my teens, who I was in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, and even my 60s is not who I am today. Not at all. Because now at 71, I feel like I've come into my power. I feel like I've come home to myself, that I've realized my purpose. I realized what I came here to do for me through the mentors that I've had in my life and continue to have, and to mentor all of you to have the same transformational journey that I've been on. And I'll continue to be on, because I used to think there was a limit to how well developed my skills could get. Not anymore. I'm in awe of my ability to do things that I never imagined I'd be able to do. I thought there was a limit, and I've learned that I'm not finding the limit. I've gotten bolder, more direct, more clear, more confident, because I'm more competent. I've gotten to be so much more than I even was at the beginning of my 60s. And here I am at the beginning of my 70s. And I feel like I'm on fire. And I'm ready. I'm ready to do what I'm deeply called to do. I've been doing it for me. I've been doing it with my students over the last 5+ years. And it's getting to be a deeper and more profound experience with every group of students because of my own personal growth. And I will always add whatever I feel is needed to the program. But make no mistake, I no longer think of myself as an ADHD coach, because I'm not. And therefore, my program is not an ADHD coaching program. It's a transformational journey of a lifetime, and unique to every student that I have the honor of working with. How I see people, how I see you. Golden Buddha, your essence, your human beingness, and your stuff, human doing. And so to me, your essence, your golden Buddha-ness, that is 100%, 1,000%, every single day. That is where your self-esteem and your self-value need to come from. Who you're being, who you're becoming, and who you're being every single day of your life. That is your value. That is what you were born with. What you do with who you're being is up to you. Like I said at the beginning, whether you're raising a family, contributing to the next generation, starting a business, serving people, working at a company, or you've started your own, whether you're writing, acting, or creating in your own ways, whatever gifts you've brought that you've been given for this lifetime, that's the you that'll be doing the doing. What it is that you do with who you're being. And so in order to do the things that we all want to do, we need to be the person who can do them. It's an inside job, this journey. Maybe the totality of you doesn't feel like you can do it. However, when we're working with identities, at least when I'm working with identities, I have many identities. I think of my physical form as a timeshare. And this timeshare, my physical body for this lifetime, needs to allot time for each of the different aspects of me, identities, parts, however you want to look at it. There's an identity of mine that does the cooking. Her name is Cookie. She has an apron. She has a beautiful new stove that she's had for about 3.5 years now. It's gorgeous. She has all the wonderful pots and pans that she loves working with. and she cooks the food, the amazing food that I eat. I go to the refrigerator every single week after Cookie's done the cooking over the weekend, and I see all the healthy food in the beautiful clear glass Pyrex. All the food she's made for me. Stir-fried vegetables, beautiful protein, nice pieces of fruit, waiting for me, washed and ready to go. Anything she knows that I love and is good for me is there every week. And mind you, Dr. B, before I was Dr. B, was never interested in cooking. Never. My mother did her best when I was a kid and growing up to get me into the kitchen to cook, but I wasn't interested, not a chance. And as I got older and considered learning to cook, it didn't make sense. Recipes didn't make sense. A lot of things didn't make sense to me. So what I did for cooking, which I wouldn't even call cooking today, is I ate a lot of microwave cooked meals. Not the packaged kind, but the things that I made, I just put in the microwave and I cooked them there. That was the scope of my cooking. That continued until Cookie was born. And I realized that I, Dr. B, do not need to learn to cook because it doesn't interest me. But that there is a part or an aspect or an identity, which is Cookie, that loves to cook. Food makes sense to her. Recipes make sense to her. But actually, she does her cooking intuitively and puts meals together that are amazing. Cookie isn't the only identity or part of me that does things for me. Anything that needs to be done has been delegated to a part, an identity that was born, that was intentionally created to do all the things that are those specialty tasks. And Dr. B does what she is extraordinary at and loves doing, which is working with people to help them to transform their life and to be that golden Buddha essence and upgrade your identity, maybe create different ones like I did, in addition to Dr. B, so that you round out the needs that you have and that you enjoy your life. It's what I want for you, if that's what you want for you. It's what I came to this lifetime to do. And my vision just keeps getting more and more clear and more refined as to what my purpose and mission are, why I'm here, who I am to be, what I'm to be doing, and what I'm continuing to learn and understand to take you the distance, each and every one of you, if that's of interest to you. I've studied many healing modalities over the years, such as neurolinguistic psychology, hypnotherapy, massage, cranial sacral therapy, somato-emotional release work, spiritual healing, spontaneous remission. I wrote my dissertation on the healer within because I've always had my own ideas about healing and transformation. And what I'm learning in my newer studies is helping me to see healing in an even deeper and more profound way. So when you're ready to take that journey, if that's of interest to you, I'll be ready to take you the distance in next level. And for now, I am a student of my own life. I am a student of your life, all of you. I learn from you. I grow because of you. I continue to challenge myself to learn new things, to learn new ways, new perspectives, new tools, new skills, like I realized I always have. Keep adding to my toolbox because I never know what tool or skill or strategy someone is going to need. And I needed so many different ones for me, and I want to have them for you. If you've been listening to my show for some time, you know that I talk about you as the human being rather than the human doing a lot, because it bears repeating in every episode. You are a precious child of the universe, and you are called a human being, not a human doing, for good reason. You don't have to earn your value. You were born with it. Your value comes from who you are being, not what you're doing, which means that you can wake up every day with your value solid, solid at 100%. Imagine how awesome your life will be when you're living this idea every single day of your life and not just listening to me share it with you. It's a great win. And speaking of wins, what's it going to be for you today? You're committed to living your life with your values coming from your being, not your doing. That's fantastic. You've decided to stop thinking in terms of fixing yourself because you're not broken. That's such a gift to yourself. You're going to decide who you want to be and live that full out. Good for you. Express yourself fully, because each and every one of these wins deserves your full-hearted celebration. Yes, fantastic. You're amazing. I know that you all have wins, big and small, and I'm hopeful that you're celebrating each and every one of them every day. How much time do we have? Not much. So let's get to it.
This podcast is sponsored by Pure Potential with Dr. B. You can head over to drbarbaracohen.com and find the podcast episodes and transcripts. Great free content, plus information on programs and products, including the groundbreaking online Adventures in Achievement Foundational Skills Training and Coaching Program. You can also learn about Dr. B's masterclasses on decision-making, time management, and banishing procrastination. That's drbarbaracohen.com.
I want to circle back around to an exercise that I gave you in a previous episode. I shared 6 important concepts with you that have radically changed my life and have changed the lives of my students when they have embraced these concepts. I'm curious if you decided to embrace any or all of these 6 concepts and have woven them into your life. Recapping them, they are: 1, stand for something every day so that you can be that person each and every day, depending on what you stand for. 2, clarify your goals so that you have a direction for your days. 3, daily consistency so you build that consistency habit. 4, be willing to go to any lengths to achieve a goal so you stay until the win. 5, keep your word to yourself so you build honor and self-respect within yourself. 6, personal time for reflection so you enjoy a loving relationship with yourself. I'd love to read a review post from you sharing that you've embraced these 6 concepts and how they're transforming your life. And another follow-up question: have you gotten your free PDF, 13 Signs Weak Executive Functioning is Holding You Back, and actually read the PDF and even scored yourself? If yes, that's great. If no, and you're seriously committed to improving the quality of your life, you want to take action and follow through so your mind registers that you're in alignment with your words. Otherwise, what you say is not what you do, and your mind will eventually stop believing you. You don't want that. And if you relate it to being a gifted underachiever, even an 8 out of 13 is enough to hold you back from greater success in your life. If you've been following me on my podcast or my website or on the information list, and you've been receiving emails from me about the Adventures in Achievement Foundational Skills Program, it might have sounded like it was just another program, an ADHD program, a coaching program, and no difference between my program and others you've seen around. You may have wondered, what the heck, it's priced as it is. Why? You may have wondered why the heck it's a 7-month program. And you may have dismissed it, even though you opened the emails about the program and are definitely seeking the help you wrote me about if you did. So let me clarify, because it isn't like any other program, and it's definitely not a course. When I think of a course, I think of something small that is part of something bigger. It isn't an ADHD coaching program because I don't think of myself as an ADHD coach anymore, and I don't teach Band-Aids or add-ons. So what is it? It's a unique, one-of-a-kind, transformational program born out of my own transformational journey so that you gifted underachievers who want to be who you want to be, to have what it is that you want to have in your life, can get there as I have. It's a program journey that will change you from the inside out, not add a bunch of external things to you in the hopes that they stick. You will learn to travel light and take with you the best and leave the rest behind. As Jim Rohn said, for things to change, you have to change. And so in our very first live training of the program, I talk about limiting beliefs and outdated identities. You already know what many of them are and might be concerned that you're going to get depressed if you share them and make them real. Not to worry. You won't be sitting with the negative for long because you'll be getting coached to start the transformation of them the same day or two after you post them in our private community forum, not Facebook. And there's more. We have a coaching call the following week, and we'll be talking more about completely releasing those limiting beliefs, as well as upgrading your old identity so it's current and relevant to who you want to be and the life that you want for yourself now. So in the first life work assignment, you tease out everything that's been limiting you because you need to clean out the wounds. And you get coached in writing to start transforming all of this and gain a new perspective. And then on our live coaching calls, we go deeper and get you unstuck if you're stuck. You get to choose your life. No one gets to choose it for you. Certainly not me. You get to be who you're going to choose to be in this lifetime because it's your lifetime. It's your choice. You can choose to be empowered and achieve, or choose to be disempowered and a victim. Thinking of yourself as a victim and being a victim won't get you an amazing life. Just my opinion. Been there, done that. It didn't. Unfortunately, things that may have happened in your lifetime, they're unfortunate. And that's different than casting yourself in the role of victim and eliminating your personal power and choices. If there's something you want for yourself, want to be, want to do, what got you to this place in your life won't get you to the next level in your life. You'll need to take a stand for what you want to be and lean into that. Come work with me to make that manifest if that's of interest to you. In the foundational skills program, we get started with limiting beliefs, outdated identities. We touch on codependency and other limiting ways of being. We build a solid foundation of pre-skills on which to build your executive function skills. And in the next level, your skills are developed enough so that we are able to take a deeper dive into your identity and beliefs, as well as healing your codependency, grief, and little traumas. It would be impossible to go deep in the foundation program when there's so many building blocks and foundational skills to being who you choose to be. I would be doing you a huge disservice if I didn't make sure to help you to build this strong foundation first. That's why it's foundational skills. And they're huge. And that's why I created Next Level, so that you can continue the development of your advanced identity and adopt more empowering beliefs as you see fit. Again, if that's of interest to you. Doesn't have to be. And if you have issues with codependency, which many of my students learn that they do, it means that you don't have a loving and caring relationship with yourself first and foremost, that you take care of the needs of others first at the expense of yourself. It's not going to be a sustainable way of life for you or a good life. I know it. I went to recovery over 30 years ago because I thought the codependency that I was living was going to kill me, and I wanted to live. Even on airplanes, they tell us to put on our own oxygen mask first before we help others. Why? Because if you don't, you're dead. And if you can't breathe, you can't help others. So if you don't take care of your needs first every single day of your life, how are you really going to help others? You have nothing to give when your tank is empty if you don't give to yourself first. I learned this years ago. And so the first 3 hours of every single day of my life is for me. It's me time. I have a lifetime debt to pay back to myself, and I am more than happy to give this time to me. I'm not saying you need to have 3 hours. What I am saying is you do need time to fill up your own tank first before you start giving your energy to others. This way, you can be free to give to others because you've given to yourself first and you've met your needs. And if it isn't appropriate to give, then the answer needs to be no, not yes. Otherwise, that's people-pleasing and sacrificing yourself. You need to know your values, and we get into that too. If you don't know your values, you can look at your life and see what your values are, because that's where you're spending your time. And if those aren't your values, and the values you say are your values are different, but we can't see those in your life, those are your aspired to values, but they're not your current values. And it's very humbling to know, so that you can actually value what you say that you value and live them. I know my values. I live according to my values. I make values-driven decisions, because if my decisions aren't in alignment with my values, then they're not good decisions for me. So if you want the freedom to have the kind of freedom and joy of waking up every single day, feeling fully alive and free to live your day to the fullest, if you want what I have, I want that for you too. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, a 7-month, incredibly effective, in-depth transformational program that will empower you to turn your untapped gifts into your most valuable assets. You'll finally have the opportunity to realize your potential because your limiting beliefs, outdated identities, missing pre-skills, and underdeveloped executive function skills won't be undermining your best efforts anymore. You'll be the one who can manage your time and responsibilities at work and at home with greater ease and a lot less chaos, if any. And in case you're a show me kind of person, meaning you want proof, I've been gathering the proof for 5 years now, a little over. As a previous international researcher, a part of me is data-driven and wants the proof to show that what we're doing is yielding the results that I say are happening and that it's not just an opinion. The data is solid and real transformation is happening. When you engage with the program, it changes you from the inside out. So, be sure to find your way to the information list, links in the show notes. That way, you'll be able to prepare for the next open enrollment and know that your transformation is coming soon. I would truly be honored to work with you and take you on the journey that I've created for you to have what I have, according to what that looks like for you. That is, if that's of interest to you. And if it's not, it isn't, and that's okay. And for now, please slow down and become a student of your own life. Understand what you need to succeed with the multifaceted brain that you have. Take action on what you learn about yourself, because this is the life work that lies ahead for you if this is your time. You came to this lifetime with an empowering gift, and I would love it if each and every person on this planet were able to express his or her unique, empowering gifts freely, without the threat of being shamed or criticized or worse. Let's put an end to that stigma once and for all and live full out as empowered achievers. A favorite quote of mine, John Wooden said, "If we magnified blessings as much as we magnified disappointments, we would all be much happier." I love this quote because it speaks to the idea of blessings, which are wins to me. Every moment of life is filled with the opportunity to notice our blessings and celebrate them, our wins. And when you make it a daily practice to notice and magnify your blessings and wins, you will truly be living a blessed life. If you're loving my podcast, you can get more support at the links in the show notes. And if you found value in this episode, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. Our mission is to help as many people as possible transform their lives. And when you leave a positive review, more people can find this podcast. So just click in the link in the show notes and select ratings and reviews and write a review and tell me what your favorite part of the episode is, and even share about the 6 concepts if you're so moved to do so. Thank you. If you're seriously ready to stop devaluing yourself with your negative self-talk about being broken and needing fixing, and trade it in for focusing your time, effort, and energy on giving birth to the empowered achiever that you want to be and the life you want to live, get on the information list today to be the first notified about what's coming soon. There are real solutions to achieve the life you want for yourself. if you make yourself available for them. Time is our most precious asset, and none of us has time to waste on solutions that just don't work in the long game. I would love to help you realize a new freedom. That is, if that's of interest to you. Thanks for listening. Until the next time, bye for now.
Thanks so much for listening today. If you're eager to make positive changes in your life and stop overwhelm and confusion from derailing you, head over to drbarbaracohen.com and see how Dr. B can help you today. Whether you love learning in an online group environment with personalized coaching or prefer the pace of guided self-study, Dr. B offers the skills, strategies, and individual support you need. Get started on your journey today by visiting the website at drbarbaracohen.com.